My name is Landon Pietrini. I am the head pizza maker here at Pietrini Pizza, Napoletana. I think pizza brings people together because it's breaking bread, figuratively and literally. You're flattening leavened dough in a disc and you're putting ingredients on it or slicing it into several pieces. So there's something communal about that. Pizza is not pretentious. It's fun and wonderful. Anybody can come in and enjoy it. It's yummy, arguably the most popular food in America. Pizza as a science can be complicated and technical as you want it to be. Once it becomes the second nature, it becomes so rhythmic. Especially working with fire, the balance and the synergy of the dough with the flame and the timing. But as a craft and as an art, the beauty is in how simplistic it is. The kind of pizza we make at Pietrini Pizza is a traditional Neapolitan pizza, which comes from Naples. It's cooked in a wood fire oven at around 800 to 900 degrees. It's a very simple pizza with really fresh ingredients, and it bakes for 1 to 2 minutes. Although the crust does develop color like some char, it still retains the moisture in the dough itself. So it still is a little bit crispy, but through and through, it's a nice, chewy, refreshing kind of pizza. That was the style that my dad was really excited about. Pizza is embedded in the fabric of our family. My dad was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and pizza is a big part of the culture there. It's always been a pipe dream of my dad's to open a pizzeria. I was about 15 or 16 years old. My brother at the time was living in Sydney, Australia. We went to go visit him, and for the first time, we experienced traditional Neapolitan wood fire pizza. And we went in, and my dad was blown away. He ate it, and he fell in love, and that just kind of shifted his pizza aspirations. He ended up buying a wood fire pizza oven at home, working on recipes, trying to understand the dough, learning as much as he can, and just doing trial and error at home.
My name is Blair Pietrini, and I'm the owner of Pietrini Pizza Napoletana in the city of Los Alamitos, California. My inspiration for opening Pietrini Pizza was my husband. This was his dream of over 30 years. When our daughter was born, I gave him his first pizza stone so that he could cook pizza in our oven at home and bring up the temperature and make it nice and crispy. And from then on, it was a hobby that grew into a passion/obsession. He started looking up and researching tomatoes and cheese in the middle of the night and just so passionate about it. I was always more of the risk taker, so I was just kind of the nudging elbow in his side, like, are you ever going to do this? And then one day he looked at me and said, I have to do this.
They finally did it. My folks opened the pizzeria, and we were here day in, day out, learning, growing, having a good time, making pizza, putting smiles on people's faces. Making pizzas at home is one thing, but doing it on a commercial scale was a lot different. We started working on recipes every day, just coming in, making dough, and it'd be awful, and it would be blowing up, and too much yeast. I wasn't used to using like a 55 or an 80 quart mixer. It was a wild ride in the beginning for sure, trial by fire. It was a labor of love, and my pops and I, we loved it.
Gene grew up in Chicago in a family of Italians where his grandma was cooking, his mom was cooking, making lasagna, marinara all the time, and so that was his life. As a result of that, he had a huge passion for it. We met in college, Point Loma in San Diego, and he basically was there at that school to get an education, but he chose that school so he could serve. He was very Italian, very outgoing, funny, very passionate. Gene had a way of making everyone feel special. It was just one of his amazing qualities. Being here was Gene's happy place. When he saw this dream come to fruition, he was so excited, and he's like, Blair, we saw our dream come true. And I was like, this is not my dream. And he's like, what do you mean? And that like made him feel bad. And I said, no, actually it was yours, but mine was to help you see yours fulfilled. That was my dream.
He played hard as a kid. He was a pole vaulter, passionate surfer. Injuries come with the territory, so he had a lot of surgeries. Because he had so many physical issues going on, he had some screws in his back that he was trying to get some discs fused, and they didn't successfully fuse. So they were just loose in his back, and he was in a lot of pain. So for about 6 months, he was not on his feet here in the restaurant. He was just doing the books and managing the accounts and doing all the behind the scenes.
What he was experiencing physically in his back kept him from being here as much as he would like. He was looking forward to being out of pain so he could come jump back in and make pizzas with Landon. He went in for surgery on December 1st. Then I got a call in the afternoon, and they asked me to come to the hospital and that the doctor wanted to speak with me. And when I got that call, my heart just dropped. I knew something was terribly wrong, and so we had a party scheduled that night, and I dropped the decorations off, and I told Landon, I don't think I'll be back tonight. They called me from the hospital, so I went and found out that he had passed away as a result of complications during surgery. Everything changed that day.
That rocked our world because this was his dream. We were here to see it through, but this was his passion, this was his dream. What to do now, what next? Talking to my mom, telling her, Dad saw his dream come true, like he did it. Do you want to do this still?
Landon and I had to have a very real conversation of what happens now, because this was Gene's dream. Collectively, we made the decision to try to keep this thing going and honor Gene's legacy. Felt like that's the right thing to do. That was the best thing that we could do to honor him, is to try to keep his dream alive. And so that's what we've endeavored to do since that day.
We closed for a month or two just so we can get our bearings and, have a funeral and kind of process, figure out what we were going to do.
It was really hard to come back in here, but as I eased my way out and just started visiting again with the customers, it brought healing, and it's been an honor and a privilege, though sometimes very difficult, to carry on his legacy in this way, and to have his son just step up like he has, the way he's taken ownership and honed his craft.
I know he'd be so proud. Days when the pizza comes out, it'll bring tears to my eyes just knowing, like, dang, Pops would be proud of this margarita. He would be super proud of the quality and how far we've come. I do it in honor to him, in honor of his legacy that he's established here. It's a good way for me to know that I can connect with something that we both love.
Pietrini's is an extension of our family, extension of who we are, an extension of my husband, his love for pizza, but more than that, his love and our family's love for people. How you make people feel, that's hospitality, and that is at the very core of our family's values. One of the nicest compliments that I've ever gotten is people saying, I feel like I'm in your kitchen. It doesn't get much better than that because that's exactly how we want them to feel.